welcome you to the Ask Jeff YouTube channel. Here's today's question. Why is belief a requirement for salvation? In other words, why can't Jesus' death and resurrection cause everyone to go to heaven regardless? Well, this is a really good question, and I'm going to answer it from a strict biblical perspective, and then hopefully from a very practical illustration. Now, the strict biblical perspective is God and God alone is the one who establishes the parameters, so to speak, of what it means to be in a right relationship with Him. In the book of Genesis, chapter 2, He told humanity that if they ate of the fruit of the tree of life, or the tree of a knowledge of good and evil, that they would surely die. They paid the price, the consequences that you and I are still doing today. Contrary to that, or after that fact, we now know that even Abraham, according to Romans chapter 4, it was his belief that allowed him to be established as being in a right or a righteous relationship with the Lord. In fact, Hebrews chapter 11, it says Abel by faith, Noah by faith, Abraham by faith. And really, I guess if I can summarize, obviously it would be wonderful if just the fact of Jesus' death, burial, and resurrection could allow everyone to go to heaven. That would be great. However, that's not the parameters God established. His parameters were, if you do this, and we did, you'll die, and we did. If you believe, then you can be saved and have everlasting life. Now, here's the practical illustration. I want you to imagine, much like the Garden of Eden, that you have a beautiful home, you have an estate, you have a palatial spread that you call your homestead. And that somebody comes up and, contrary to your desires, just burns the whole thing down, doesn't regret it, doesn't want to help make restitution for it, and just says, too bad. And you rebuild it yourself at your expense. Are you just going to let that person come back just because they want to? Or are you going to say, okay, I'll let you come back to my house, but you have to understand, in light of what took place previously, I'm going to put some parameters on how we're going to do this. It's kind of a crass illustration, but I think it applies to the biblical narrative. And here's the great thing. According to Romans chapter 10, verse 13, whoever calls on the name of the Lord will be saved. So even though God requires belief, aren't we grateful? He doesn't require deeds. Great question. If you have one, send it to askjeff.net. Maybe your question will be tomorrow's. Thanks for being a part of today's daily question. Now, we answer a question each and every day. Please feel free to submit a new question at askjeff.net. We may not have gotten to yours today, but we eventually will continue to be a part of this. Subscribe so you don't miss out on a question every day.